Hey there. Thank you for listening. This is Make Magic Make Sense. I'm your host, Luana, and I just learned pumpkin spice baklava is a thing. A bit of fair warning that this interview's audio may be a bit rough. I cleaned it up as best I could, as it's my first remote interview recorded through a simple phone call. Joke's on me. It was not simple uploading and editing the audio. Lesson learned. I acquired new skills solving problems. Let's get right into it and introduce our guest. For our show snippet, what do you remember from our conversation? What popped out at you?
Going through our memories, our friendship over the many years, which has been so nice, and just the general nerdiness that we have grown into. So.
Thank you for listening. Today, we have a very lovely guest. I'm very excited to introduce you to...
Devin Bennett.
Starting strong.
Starting strong.
Devin, what is your age?
I'm 32 years young, old, depending on who you ask.
And what is your occupation?
I recently started a new job in June. I'm a travel operations specialist at Canonical, which is a software company. Pretty cool.
That does sound pretty cool.
Yeah.
Actually, do you mind going into that just a little bit more?
Yeah. So I started, this is kind of a brand new thing for me. It's very outside my comfort zone just because Canonical basically, like I said, it's a global software company. They're the makers of Ubuntu, which is like their most popular product. It's a Linux-based operating system. But I'm not an engineer and I know nothing about that.
Whoa.
But basically, it's a global company. Employees are working from like 80 different countries worldwide. So my wider team's like 25 people. My smaller team's about 5 of us. But we're all in different countries and we all work from different time zones. So it's pretty cool to feel like I have friends all over the globe, sort of. But the job itself is basically like sort of policing people's travel within the company and making sure like people are following policy and the travel management company that we use isn't like booking anything insane or super expensive, handling people's issues when they come up, things like that.
Wow. I think I've asked you what you do for work like 7 times. And like, now it paints the picture just a little bit more clearly. So I should have just asked you very specifically.
I mean, to be fair, I kind of just started this job not too long ago, but I don't also think you didn't know what I did previously either. But no one did, so it's okay.
No, that is, I definitely have a better vision now, and that's really, really neat. This opportunity, it allowed you to actually travel recently to
Yes,
somewhere really,
yeah.
really cool.
Mostly, everybody works remotely. There's a few offices, but not, majority of people don't work from those. They work remotely, which is nice, but they do like 4 sprints, they call them, which is like internal meetings, like large, like planning meetings for employees 4 times a year. So I'll go to probably 2 or 3 of those every year. So, July, I went to Berlin, which was pretty sweet. And then just like, was it last week now? 2 weeks ago? I went to Gothenburg, Sweden, which was also very cool. So it's given me a lot of cool opportunities, and I don't know, I feel like I'm being brave and exploring and being adventurous, which is not typically how I view myself, so I'm kind of proud. So
Yeah, good step in the right direction. I would like to ask you, Devin, how do we know each other? And do you have a specific memory of us?
Well, I don't know. I think you're probably my oldest friend that I'm still close to, which is pretty cool. Um, we argue whether we met in 6th or 7th grade, and I say it's 7th grade.
I think you're actually still wrong because it's it's either 5th or 6th grade.
It was for sure not 5th grade because we met at Sells Middle School.
But you
Shout
went
out.
to Thomas Elementary, did you not?
fourth and fifth grade, I went to Indian Run.
Oh my God. I'm living in a parallel universe.
I'm telling you, bro. I was seventh grade. But either way, I digress. We became friends, just in class, I think, and
Yeah.
I don't know, we've just been friends ever since, and we've done like theater together, and we went to school together, and then I don't know, we were just always hanging out. And then you moved, and we still talk, and it's cool, and I wish you weren't so far away, but here we are.
I know.
Favorite memory. There's so many that I could think of. I mean, the number one is just like us playing like Psychonauts at your house,
Aw.
and you were the brawn and I was the brains. That's what I
Absolutely.
like to say, but I don't think that's actually true. I just like to watch. But also the one that comes to mind is us going to like that country concert with Winona Judd and
No.
your mom yelling at Winona Judd, "Country!"
And then her actually responding saying, "Meet me out back by my trailer later," or something.
Yeah, we were like, "What's happening?" We're in the middle of a parking lot with Winona Judd. What?
God.
That one sticks out to me. But there's just so many. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, walking to the Japanese store to get candy and melon bread.
Koyama Shoten. Oh, I think about that often too. Yeah, I like how you liked, or at least went along with the really geeky, weird niche stuff that I was drawn to back then as I was figuring out a personality.
I think you made me nerdy. I think you were the beginning stages of my nerdiness, and then my husband Jameson took it the rest of the way. So,
Yep.
I mean, between that and like Gaia Online
Oh my
and
God.
like some video games, and remember that time we choreographed a fight scene to Pirates of the Caribbean?
Dude, that was gonna be mine. I was gonna say, I remember delirious sleepovers that lasted until 3 or 4 a.m. before we gave in to sleep, and then, I don't know, making personal pizzas at your place,
Oh,
and Pirates of the Caribbean, choreographing a whole entire fight routine. I'm pretty sure we dressed up too.
it was
Just
good.
in
And
your.
we had one of those like retractable fake daggers. It
Yes!
was thick. We like flipped it with a blanket. It was really good.
Oh my God! I forgot that part! I looked it up! And then, was it you that caught it in midair or something?
Yeah, something or like I flipped it and then you caught it and then you like spun around. It was so cool. And then we spent forever on it and then we fell asleep for like a few hours and we tried to do it again in the backyard in the morning and we didn't remember any of it.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for adding context to that memory, because, wow, that was so
I
much
know.
fun. And we were really cool.
We were. Everyone just wanted to be us, really.
Oh man. As you mentioned too, like, yeah, we were friends when we were little kids, and we're still friends in our 30s, even though we don't see each other every single day. But I'm really impressed by us. Like, I remember your mom saying something about how she has a really good friend that she also doesn't see, yet they're still thick as thin, and she kind of envisioned that for us too.
I see that happening. I mean, we don't talk like often, but it's like I always like think of things or like will randomly be like, I need to catch up, you know? And it's just and it's like you don't miss a beat, like it doesn't feel any different, which is the best part. Like
Yeah.
it's not awkward, it's just it feels the way it did in middle school, except now like my back hurts.
Same here. And that's miraculous. So, gosh, I want to honor that right now. Thank you for being my friend. And no, we didn't grow apart. We just physically are farther apart now.
Correct. And I don't get as regular updates on your life, so I have to be filled in, but otherwise, that's the same.
I want to get better at that. That's for sure. And still plan a trip out there.
Oh
And then we can
yeah.
catch up in person and be like, how are you as an adult?
Yeah, because it's been 8 years since I saw you in person.
And that was for your wedding, which
Yeah.
prior we hadn't seen each other in like 6 years. Don't forget, we're still going to go to North Carolina when we're like in our 70s or 80s for that time capsule opening. That has nothing to do with us.
Wait. I forgot about that. Whoa.
Blowing Rock, North Carolina.
Wow. I need to look that up.
Yeah. If you're still on board, I'm down.
I mean, what if I'm dead?
What if I'm dead?
Well, I'll take your ashes with me.
Likewise. What's your favorite snack?
My favorite snack? Oh, there's so many snacks. Honestly, I'm on a health kick right now, so I don't eat a lot of snacks, so it's really depressing if I were to just say tuna. But, like, frankly, I eat tuna, like, every day. No, I would say if I want to treat myself, it's more of a dessert than it is a snack, but specifically the UDF brand, the brand that they make homemade, that's what it's called. It's the peanut butter in chip, okay? N apostrophe chip. It is the best ice cream. I will die on that hill. And that, I guess, would be my favorite snack because I think we're solely keeping UDF in business by how often we buy.
That's amazing. I didn't know about that.
Yeah. Do you have UDFs out there?
I can't recall, because that sounds familiar, but I think it's a country thing. You know, United Dairy Farmers. Maybe we do have one out here. I'm going to look it up.
You gotta look up that peanut butter in chip.
Peanut butter and chip.
Yeah. Yeah.
Peanut butter and
Are you writing it down?
I literally am. Thank you.
Yes.
Because I do intend to take the wisdom and advice from my guests
Wisdom.
to heart. And if you're saying that snack brings you joy, then by golly, I'll try that too.
My wisdom is sending you to a gas station. Oh well.
Okay. What is your favorite color?
Black.
Black. Why?
Black. Well, it goes with everything. It's slimming. Everything you buy comes in that color. And I just like it. I feel like it matches my energy.
Your energy.
Which is not much.
No. Is that the energy you have now or the energy that you want to possess?
I think it's like the energy that I want to possess. Like, I feel like when I wear black, it's like it has a strength to it. And I think that's like how I would want to be perceived. Is kind of like, not that I am edgy, but I'd like to be perceived as like slightly.
I think that's wonderful. I think you will draw that energy to yourself and you'll believe it too.
Yeah, I agree. It's a power color.
Yeah, it'll be transformative. What are your favorite animals?
Oh, we know this. Red panda. Number one, red panda. They are my favorite. They're so cute. There's actually, I think our zoo here in Columbus has a new encounter where it's super expensive, but you can go and feed them up close.
What do they eat?
If I ever did that, I would cry for real.
What do red pandas eat?
I think they feed them like grapes. I mean, I'm sure they eat more than that, but I think like when you go to feed them, you feed them grapes. But otherwise, I don't know.
Aww.
I know. And after that, probably a quokka.
Yeah, quokkas. I had to look that up. I'm like, wow, they do look really happy.
They're so happy all the time. They're so cute.
Now, how did you come across quokkas for the first time? Because they're not as
Not prevalent.
Yeah.
It actually, I feel like it all occurred kind of simultaneously, but was it 2 years ago? I don't know. Our church did this VBS, Vacation Bible School thing, and it was like Australian themed. And one of the songs mentioned a quokka. And I think I had heard of the quokka before, but I didn't think much about it. But then recently I got into K-pop, and my favorite group, Stray Kids, they all have like an animal that's associated with them, and one of the members has a quokka. So I was like, well, I need to look up quokkas some more, which I did. And they're amazing. And then, actually, the company I work for has a mascot for every new Ubuntu release, and this one happened to be the questing quokka.
Oh my goodness.
So it's all come together. So quokkas are everywhere.
Wow, for real though. But like, what kind of family does a quokka belong to?
I think it's related to kangaroos. I think it's a marsupial.
Marsupial.
Don't quote me on that. That could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's related to kangaroos.
Don't quote you on that.
Don't quote me on that.
Okay, marvelous. I mean, thank you for teaching me something new, too.
I highly recommend you going to watch videos of them on the internet.
Okay. Awesome. I think just having like a preview of them, it reminded me that if you look at pictures of baby animals or just really cute small animals like first thing in the morning, your brain is just going to work more efficiently the rest of the day. It's a thing.
Is that real science?
It's real science. You should look up an article.
Okay, well, I'll do that because now that gives me an excuse to just like print pictures of cute animals and put them like by my bed.
Yeah, exactly. What is your favorite number?
3.
Do you have a reason?
I do. In my family, we always like, I don't know if you remember this, but I'd get on the bus for school and my parents would like hold 3 fingers up and it just means I love you. 3 words. So 3 is my favorite. And then I have a 3 and a heart tattooed on me and my mom has a matching one. So, it's kind of a family thing, I guess, at this point.
That's really special.
Yeah. It's a good number.
I don't know if you know much about Fred Rogers from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. But that
Not
also,
a lot, other than his sweaters.
His sweaters, his fabulous sweaters. So cozy. He also had this kind of fascination or just like an ideal of weighing 143 pounds for most of his life. He maintained that, and it's because that spells out, I love you.
Yeah.
Letter-wise, yeah. So that's...
I love that. Actually, back to Stray Kids, we're back on it. They have a song called Case 143. And it is, the same thing. 143. I love you.
I'm looking that up.
Yeah, let's go.
Because I don't know that one. I don't know the band. Don't worry, we're going to move into what you geek out about soon enough.
Oh, great.
You brought it up enough times, so...
I know, it's already been twice. How long we've been talking? Oh, no. See, this is when my crazy comes out.
I love it! All right, and then I'd love to ask you, do you have any pets? And if so, what are their names?
Yes, I have a little dog, a little golden doodle named Piper. And she's currently laying on me, and she's very cute. And she's almost 5.
Oh, she's still a baby.
She's a baby. But she's so cute and also kind of a butt, but in a good way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sassy.
I'm sure she has a fluffy butt.
She does. She's very fluffy.
Oh, but that's so sweet. She's laying on you right now.
Yeah. So we'll see if she barks at any point. She starts to hear cars and then she panics.
She was a little bit emotionally, sensitive?
I guess. She thinks she's a watchdog, but she's not.
Well, that's really sweet. I always want to be able to honor people's pets because my pets mean a lot to me, so I assume the same for my guests.
Yes, I like to tell people she's my dogter, and I carried her in my womb for 9 months.
Full term!
Full term.
Beautiful, beautiful baby. Let's move on. Devin, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Oh, I wanted to be an actress or singer. Of course. I feel like that's like what half of kids wanted to be. But yeah, that's why I went into theater. I thought I wanted to go into that. So yeah, being an actress or a singer was always the goal. I did theater a lot growing up and it just was a lot of fun. I like to think I'm relatively artistic.
Oh, I was going to mention, I remember watching you in our theatrical productions. You did so many more, like, really artsy ones. For example, we had the one director that was very...
professional?
Yeah, but even more than that. It was like their whole life, theater.
Yeah, it really was. Like, that's all he did.
That's all he did.
Mr. Man.
It was Mr. Man. Essentially what I was going to say is I remember we were in, like, Dark of the Moon together. You did The Island of Dr. Moreau.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah.
Half ostrich creature.
That's what you were. It was mesmerizing getting to watch that. It really drew you in. You were lead in Footloose, Not in My
Yes, so were
Company.
you. Okay, shout out.
Well, thank you, but that was like a big moment for us in high school, I'm pretty sure. Because it's
Yeah.
like, Devin, you're doing it. You're doing what you said you wanted to do. And like, I wonder how that felt for you then compared to how it feels for you now.
I mean, how it feels for me now, like looking back on it,
Yeah.
I feel like I really like paid my dues in theater because I had done it since like elementary school, and I I did like 5 or 6 productions every single year in high school, and I just like I feel like I was working so hard. It's like how I spent all my time, but I didn't get that many leads. I had some side parts and stuff, but like was never like the lead. And then
Oh
yeah,
my
senior
God.
year to be Ariel and Footloose is pretty cool. I guess at the time, like, I didn't really think of it like doing what I wanted to be, because I guess I was more thinking of like, oh, on Broadway or in movies or, whatever, and making money off of this thing. But I guess in a way, like, looking back, that was kind of doing what I wanted to do. And in a way, I'm still sort of doing some of those things, like being in front of people and stuff. So I
Hmm.
guess it all comes full circle.
I also just had the memory of High School Musical. And
Oh my gosh. One or two.
which one did you have the short haircut with?
High School Musical 2. I played Ryan, and I bravely chopped all of my hair off the day of homecoming.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a rough one for real. It was a bowl cut. It was such a bad idea. People were like, why don't you just wear a wig? I was like, no, I'm committed to the art of High School
Exactly.
Musical. And, it was a mistake, and it took forever to grow back.
So I just want to pay you my respects now. I looked up to you, and you really did put your heart and soul into your passions. And it's very admirable. And your hair did grow back. This question I may or may not include. I also wanted to just quickly ask you, was there any kind of game or activity or toy that you used to love engaging with?
Oh, the one that comes to mind is my GameCube, of course.
Oh my gosh.
Playing Animal Crossing on my GameCube. The original
Yes.
Animal Crossing was like the best.
Yes. I remember that. That
Yeah.
was
I mean,
fun.
all these other iterations of Animal Crossing have been good, but there's nothing like the OG one on my GameCube. So that and like Super Smash Bros. Playing on there was like the best.
Oh yeah. There's something
Yeah,
to
that and
nice.
my wave board. Do you remember my wave board?
Remind me.
Like it's like a skateboard, but it's got like 2 wheels and you kind of like
Oh,
wiggle. I
yeah.
don't know how to describe it. Mind you, I still have it and it's in my garage.
Those came back in fashion, right?
I don't know, but that was like one of my favorite things ever. And I won that Pirates of the Caribbean deck plate for it, which was like the best moment of my life.
Wait, tell me about that.
I don't know where I saw this contest online, but I had to enter every single day for a month to get like entries. And I'm sure no one else in their right mind is doing this because that's so niche. Like a Pirates of the Caribbean deck board for a wave board. But I entered every day and it showed up at my house and I was like, I just won the lottery.
Oh my goodness. Devin, that's amazing. I never knew that.
I know, I'll send you a picture. I still, it's all still intact. So
Please do. Congratulations, by the way.
thank you so much.
Belated, yes. Okay, I'm really glad I asked that. I wanted to now kind of move into your geekdoms. Everything that you pour your energy and excitement and joy into. Maybe we can start this off by, you're not doing theater productions as intensely as you used to, but you are still performing in front of people, just in a different manner.
Yes. Yeah, so at church, I lead worship. There's a few worship leaders there, and I'm one of them. And so, I would say like once a month, and I get to kind of lead worship, play guitar and sing. And then, other weeks throughout the month, sometimes I'll just sing or sometimes I'll just play guitar, but not lead. And it's kind of a cool outlet to just, be able to perform in a way, and just be in front of people and just kind of do music, which I really, miss being a part of. So it's been a fun outlet for that. And then I'm also taking guitar lessons, which I've been taking for 6 years. So that's kind of the other side of it, of like still doing the music side, which has been cool.
Yeah, that's dedication right there. I remember when you first told me you started taking guitar lessons, and it was new, and you were like a little baby, and now you stayed consistent, and I'm curious how that feels, having put in that effort and the time and the dedication from where you started to where you are now with your guitar practice and with your ability to perform for others.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways I haven't grown in the ways I hoped, and in other ways I feel like I have. Like, part of me is like, I should be so much better at guitar than I am after 6 years of lessons. But at the same time, like, I started learning as an adult when I had full-time jobs and other commitments. So the fact that I'm quite proud that I've done it for 6 years straight, every week, kept practicing and have gotten at least good enough that I can play on stage in front of people. So it's kind of cool. And also just like, I'm quite proud of the fact that as an adult in my early 30s, I'm still growing and learning new things. I think a lot of people feel like they can't start new hobbies because they think, oh, I'm already too old for this, or I didn't start early enough. But I just think like learning is such a cool part of life. And I don't know, I've just really held on to that in a lot of ways. So anyway, anytime I can learn something new, I'm on board. So it's been a cool part of that.
Devin, that's amazing. And I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. There are also scientific articles on how if you learn a new skill as an adult, your brain gets better.
It's never too late.
It's never
too late. Start the thing that you want to do.
Definitely.
It's not that bad. It really is not. And then in terms of practice, we all practice individually throughout the week, and then we meet like an hour before service on Sunday and we just practice. That's our only time to practice.
I think you mentioned there are some like recorded performances too, right?
Yeah, we do live stream our services every Sunday. I will say my caveat to that is, if anyone listens, the recordings, like the audio is raw audio, and it's much harder to control so it sounds much worse than it does live. So let me just say that with a disclaimer. It sounds way better in person.
In person.
Yes, but we're working on that actively. But yeah, so we do live stream, which is pretty cool. So, if you miss or can't come for some reason, you can always watch it. And sometimes we do songs in Spanish, which is really cool. So that's been another added like challenge. Like, okay, you want me to play guitar and sing in front of people, but now it's in another language.
Well, and speaking of other languages, you have been also pouring a lot of energy into learning Korean.
I am. See, again, I love learning, so I'm like, let me go take a class.
Look at you.
One of my goals this year was to learn a new language, and I had been doing Spanish for a little while. Like, I can hold an okay, relatively simple conversation, but then I got really into like K-pop and K-dramas, and I was like, I love language learning, so I might as well learn the language that I feel like I'm intaking all the time via music and shows. So I don't have to use subtitles, or, I know what people are saying. So I just signed up for a class, and I'm almost done with my first semester, and it's been a major challenge, but very fun. It's been very fun to learn it.
Can I ask, do you think you have a good foundation on the writing so far? Like, what's the most challenging part for learning that language specifically?
Yeah, so I started like learning on my own in January, and then I started my class in early September. So I was kind of self-taught for a while. The great thing about Korean, and it was specifically made, like the language was invented purposefully so that the alphabet is easy to learn. So the writing system, frankly, you could learn it in an hour, which is really cool. The hard part, though, pronunciation and grammar is very different, and sentence structure is very different to English. And so that's been the biggest challenge, I think, is just like word order is completely switched around. And so building sentences is confusing and there's particles for everything. And it's been a challenge, but it's been super fun. And I feel like it feels like I'm writing in like secret code because it's like not the English alphabet, which is fun. So it's like feels even more special in a way. My homework for this week is a 5-minute presentation in Korean.
Ooh.
I'm stressed about it.
What's the presentation about?
Just like a self-introduction, like who am I? What are my hobbies? What are like why am I learning Korean? I'm like I can't even talk in English for 5 minutes in front of people.
You communicate in music terms in front of people quite consistently.
That's easy though. It's the talking part that gets me in trouble.
It's just another language. What do you think you're strongest? What do you think you are strongest in at this time? Is it reading comprehension? Is it writing? Listening?
I think writing probably. I do think like it takes me a little while. I'm getting better with reading comprehension. Listening and dictation is like very difficult for me at the moment. But writing, I feel like I'm getting much better at. And this class, I feel like has really helped with that a lot. So that's my strong suit right now, I think.
Awesome. All right, good job. Acknowledgements. More in regards to geeking out and stuff. And the pre-show questionnaire, you mentioned food and baking and travel.
Oh, I just feel like I have endless hobbies at this point, which is like cool as an adult, but I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't have time for anything. So I've got guitar, I've got Korean, I'm really into K-pop, and then what else? Yes, baking. I enjoy cooking. I cook every night, mostly from scratch, which is fun. And then in terms of baking, I don't remember if I've told you this, but you know I have a side hustle where I bake baklava. Have we talked about this?
No.
What? We haven't?
No.
Oh.
Baklava is intricate.
Yeah, it is very intricate. I have a side hustle where I make baklava.
Oh my
That was
gosh.
poker. And yeah, so we have a family friend who is Greek, and he started in his retirement this company called Pure Baklava, and it started growing, and he just needed more help, and so I've been helping him bake and package for 3 years. You know, it's been a fun little side thing for some side money for, for fun. I just enjoy baking in general, so. And yes, it's very intricate and time consuming to make baklava. Travel, obviously, like I've been doing that more, and that's something that I'd like to do more with my free time, not just for work. And then D&D is my other hobby, which I don't know
Yes.
if I put that on the thing, but.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up because you mentioned
Yeah.
becoming more geeky.
Yeah, I blame my husband for that.
It blew my mind when I realized you were A, going to your first Renaissance festival, and B, dressing up as your D&D character. And I'm like, what?
When did this happen to me?
When did this happen for you?
When did I become this? We used to play a few years ago with a group, but it just wasn't super consistent. And then at the beginning of this year, Jameson wanted to write his own campaign, and so we formed a group, and so we've been playing pretty consistently over the past year. We have future campaigns planned too. But it's just been so fun. Like, I don't know. So many people are like unsure of what it's like to even play. People think it's nerdy or whatever, but it's like the best. And every time we pull somebody new into it, they love it. It's just like, it's so fun and imaginative and storytelling and silly and like, it's just the best.
I see the potential there. Honestly, I have a feeling it's about the people you're with and what
Yeah.
they bring to the table that.
It makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Especially like playing consistently is also something that makes a huge difference just because it's so easy to forget like what happened in your previous game. So it's just like the commitment of your group is super important. But I think like it's kind of nice that you can just show up without having to pre-plan anything. Like maybe in the middle of a combat, you might have an idea of what you want to do, but at the end of the day, one of your party members might do something stupid, which always happens in our campaign. Like we have one member that just always is just like doing crazy stuff off the wall, and it ruins it. Whatever you have planned gets completely ruined. But that's the fun of it. And, from like a DM point of view, Jameson, always has things planned that he thinks we might do, but often has to come up with stuff on the fly because what we pick to do is, unpredictable.
Mm.
He said like that's the most fun. Like there's been really integral characters in the story that he's just had to make up on the fly because of a choice that we made, and then they kind of carry on through the rest of the story. And that would have never happened if we had, done exactly what he predicted. I would say give it another shot. Try to find the right group, but it's the best. I recommend everyone to try it.
If you could kind of give me an example of something that you think you've learned or gained from getting into D&D, what would that be?
Well, it's kind of tough in terms of like my own perspective. I think for me, just like there's some strategy involved that I feel like I've learned in terms of like pre-planning, but like making multiple options for yourself when someone else inevitably ruins your plans. So I think it's like it kind of like makes your mind more flexible in that way, maybe. But from like Jameson's point of view, he actually recently started a new position, and his interview was the positions in project management. But in his interview, he talked about how he has experience in project management from D&D. And I think that helped him get the job actually, which is really interesting.
Yeah, being a
Obviously, know
dungeon
your audience. The
master.
guy he was interviewing with was also a dork. So know your audience. But like, yeah, there's something to be said for that. Like, you're managing a group and you're in charge of like all of these different things at once. So, you know, project management. It's a professional development technique.
He really got the connection aspect from it, and I
Yes.
wholeheartedly agree. If you're talking to someone and you realize you geek out about the same thing, bam, on a different level of communication, you know each other, there is a bond formed.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Jameson.
Yeah, yeah, he really did it.
The next segment is going to be our playtime.
Oh no.
So I had to select from a list, and you chose Mad Libs.
Oh, I love a Mad Lib.
Yeah, and so I just found this online Mad Lib creator, and now I will host. I will have you enter in all of the words.
Uh-oh.
We can start by picking a category. We have adventure, animal, food, general, holiday, kids, music, and travel.
Let's do general because I'm curious.
This one says general, the wild adventure.
Oh,
Cool.
okay. I picked for us. Adventure it is.
Well, it's a little bit of both, I guess. So,
Oh.
fill in the blanks. Devin, give me an adjective.
Ooh, slimy.
Starting off strong. Give me a place.
Mm, Walmart.
What kind of imagery are you trying to bring up here?
I don't know.
What's a noun?
Fork.
Wait, what?
Fork. Fork.
Oh, fork. Adjective.
Mm, what's the word? Spongy.
You ever think this is like a reflection of someone's consciousness?
You know what? That's what I'm concerned about. I'm like being careful. I'm like, what if I say something crazy?
This one says plural food.
Plural food?
Mm-hmm.
Mmm. Brats. Brats. Brats.
Oh, what's it?
Like a bratwurst.
I could have sworn there was a U in there. What am I thinking? Brats.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
Adjective, please.
Mmm. Withered.
Good one. What's a sound?
Oof.
And then an animal.
Oh, red panda.
Wait, are you sure you want to involve a red panda in this story that is slimy and spongy?
Yeah, of course.
Red panda. Okay. Clothing item.
I'm gonna go sock.
A single sock.
A singular sock.
And then a noun.
A wreath.
Another adjective.
Pebbly.
Nickname.
Well, you can use mine, Ducky.
Ducky. Oh man, this is a really long one.
Okay, I gotta think more words. Okay, lock in.
Random object. Go.
Oh, pencil.
What's another animal?
Quokka.
Verb. Past tense.
Stubbed.
Plural noun.
Pumpkins.
What are we creating? Adjective.
Hot.
Place.
Fort Wayne, Indiana.
You ever been?
I have.
What's a vehicle?
A Tesla.
An adjective.
Spicy.
A noun.
Pogo stick.
I haven't thought about a pogo stick in 20 years. Uh, superlative adjective.
What does that mean? Like best? Clumsy? Clumsiest? I bet that's what it means. Go clumsiest.
There we go. What's an emotion?
Rage.
Okay, we have two more. Thank goodness. Plural food.
Cheeses.
And then finally, a TV show.
Let's go. Apothecary Diaries. A show I recommended to you.
Yes. Isn't that an anime?
It is.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much. Just add it to the list of nerdiness.
Mm-hmm.
Such a good show, though.
Are you ready for this story that you've concocted?
Yes, I'm scared.
I have to keep it together. One day, my slimy boyfriend decided to go on an adventure to the Walmart. He packed his favorite fork and a spongy snack because, of course, you can't adventure without brats. As he walked through the withered forest, he heard a strange oof. Suddenly, a red panda wearing a sock jumped out and said, "Give me your wreath or else." Being the pebbly person he is, my boyfriend responded, "Not today, Ducky," and pulled out a pencil from his pocket. The quokka was so surprised that it stubbed away, leaving behind a treasure chest filled with pumpkins. He opened it and found a map leading to a hot secret Fort Wayne, Indiana.
The treasure sucks.
I love this. Without hesitation, he popped onto a Tesla and raced off. Onto. When he got there, he discovered a spicy pogo stick waiting for him. It said, "Congratulations! You're the clumsiest adventurer ever." My boyfriend returned home feeling. My boyfriend returned home feeling rage
Oh no.
and couldn't wait to tell me about his wild day. He ended the night by eating cheeses and watching his favorite Apothecary Diaries. The end.
My boyfriend sucks. He's slimy, he's enraged, and he takes me to Walmart.
Good thing you have a very loving, different husband.
Yeah,
What a crazy day.
what a crazy day. I feel like I've lived that day before.
Devin, what's the spongiest snack?
Spongiest snack.
Mm,
That's a really good question. I mean, if you ate a sponge, I suppose that would count.
There's no nutritional value.
There might be fiber.
Oh, yeah.
Spongiest snack. I mean, I guess bread.
Untoasted bread.
Yeah, untoasted bread. It's spongy. Can I tell you about a texture hyperfixation that I have?
Yes.
Okay, great. This is a side note. Now we're talking about textures of foods. So, have you ever had tteokbokki?
What is that?
It's a Korean rice cake. I've recently been obsessed with eating them and making them because the texture is so good. And I don't know if any people my age would relate. Do you remember Polly Pockets? Like, not the little tiny ones, but the ones that had the silicone clothes?
Oh my God. I think I know what you're about to say.
Yeah, yeah. Tteokbokki is like chewing on one of them shoes. And it's like the best. I don't know what that is about me that I'm like, this texture's amazing, but it's edible this time and tastes good. Yeah. Get into that. If
Edible.
you like chewing on a Polly Pocket shoe, get into rice cakes.
Hmm. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So much wisdom you have to share.
I know, honestly.
That is going to tickle a lot of people.
I I hope so. I hope I gave somebody a really satisfying recommendation.
A lot of people will also feel very seen.
My goal is to make people feel seen because you are seen. I want to chew on weird stuff too.
Oh, goodness. All right, it's time to take a break. Use the restroom, drink some water, wash your face, or I don't know, just allow yourself some time to do nothing at all. How about pause for 5 minutes? If you think that's too long, better make it 10. All right, well, we are now entering our storytelling. This is what I wanted to gauge ahead of time for my guests so that we are both in understanding of what may be discussed here today. So, first segment or first portion of this segment is Devin. Have you experienced any life challenges or struggles? And if so, what do you think has been a good life lesson?
Oh man. I mean, who hasn't? I would say, and you know this, the biggest struggle has been anxiety. It's been the longest struggle. It's been since I was like 9 or 10. And it shows up in multiple forms, but it's just been kind of something that's like plagued my life. And, I've made a lot of decisions based on anxiety, which, in retrospect, I wish I hadn't done that, but it's also like completely understandable. So I mean, the main lesson learned that I think I've learned over a long time, you have to get, when it comes to mental health stuff, I think a lot of times, at least from my experience, is you have to get to a point where you're mad enough about it that you are ready to do something about it. And I feel like I got to a point where I was like, I'm sick of this controlling me. Yeah, it sucks to experience anxiety, but I'm just going to do it anyway because I'll just do it anxious. I'd rather do it anxious than not do it at all. So it's been that way when it comes to traveling, or if it comes to, at least for me, just because of my specific like phobias and stuff, like eating certain things, just going for it, full send. I know that I'm capable of handling more than I think, so it'll be fine. And I've found that to be true. And sometimes it's hard, but it's been totally worth it. And I feel like I've grown a lot and gotten a lot better over time, but I know I can overcome it. I try to change my mindset and view anxiety not as something that makes me weak, but as something that makes me strong because it's something that I have to overcome and I do regularly overcome, and I've overcome it for 22 years at this point. And I think that's pretty sick that I'm strong enough to have done that. Same goes for anyone else like dealing with stuff like that.
You came up with that just all on your own. You're anxious, but do it anyway.
I mean, I guess, again, it's like at a certain point, you have something for so long and you're like, I'm really sick of this. I'd get anxious. And it's like, on one hand, yeah, I'm feeling anxious. But the other hand, I'm just pissed off that I'm still feeling anxious.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I gotta, find something to like break the cycle here.
You decided to just move forward anyway, and then therefore quieting that inner gremlin that was trying to call the shots. How do you think you fare now?
Things like that still happen, but I think it's just knowing like every time you go through it, you get a little bit better at handling it. And I also went through exposure therapy, but I kind of feel like in general, every time you do something despite anxiety, it's kind of exposure therapy and it gets easier the next time. And so I think that was part of my mindset too, of just like, yeah, you're anxious to fly across the world by yourself. That makes sense. But if you do it enough, it's going to get easier. So I'll just do it again.
You're building that confidence there.
Yep. And that's completely, I mean, that's like the basis of exposure therapy for anything is like you take baby steps into doing something you're scared of, and your mind slowly starts to realize what you're actually capable of handling.
That is amazing. I'm really happy for you.
Thanks.
It sounds like you're able to step more into yourself and be the person that you want to be.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think anything should hold you back, especially not mental health stuff and anxiety or, depression or whatever. Like, if you want something, just go for it. I know it's easier said than done, but
Would anxiety be the main contributor towards a mental or emotional breakdown?
yeah, I think so. I think when I've had really hard seasons, it's actually been more so related to depression than it has anxiety.
Mm.
Just because I think for me, anxiety is more of like a momentary issue. Like it's not super long lasting. Like it might last a day or a panic attack might last a few hours, that sort of thing. But depression is like 100% of the time for however long it lasts, right?
Mm.
And so I think my kind of like mental breakdowns have been around that. But I feel like they've always been around life changes. As someone who's not good at dealing with change, I think most of them have been surrounding just so much going on in life that you can't control. And then it sort of sends you down this spiral of like discontentment or worry. And then it turns into this bigger thing than you intended it to.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm curious, you don't have to name any specifics, but whenever a cycle of change was presenting itself to you and you felt out of control or you felt like you were going in that downward spiral, the question is not really how you responded to it. How do I phrase this question? I'm just curious, with the perspective you have now, can you see it more clearly what the change that was presented in your life was ushering in?
Yeah, definitely. I think in the moment, like change is hard. In retrospect, you see the reason for everything, at least a lot of the time. I obviously think that my faith plays a role in that. I do think everything happens for a reason, and so even when you're going through like really tough seasons, just like trying to trust that like it'll turn into something better on the other side. But I definitely think that like you grow in ways. Like the first really bad bout of depression that I had, it was just very tough. I had a lot of friendships that I was just struggling through, but it came out on the other side like I was stronger in my faith. I was stronger in my relationship with my marriage because Jameson was there to support me throughout, depression and that sort of thing. And then I had never experienced depression before that time. I feel like it gave me so much more empathy for other people dealing with that as well. I think it's all about your viewpoint. Like, yeah, I could still look back on that time and think, why did I have to go through that? That really sucked. It wasn't fun, obviously. It was painful. I'm planning to hopefully get a tattoo later this year, but it actually goes along with this.
Hmm.
And the concept is a dagger of grace. It comes from a song from a band called Half Alive, a song called Thank You. The point is, these things that cause you pain, a dagger of grace, they cause you pain, but the grace part is that you're able to grow from it and learn from it and become better from it. And so, highly recommend to look up that song. It's really great. So, I kind of look at all those mental breakdowns or anxiety or hard seasons. Everything is a dagger of grace. It hurts in the moment, but it's for your ultimate good.
Thank you for that, Devin. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
I don't know if you want to talk about, or if this ties into what you just mentioned, but on the questionnaire you mentioned experience with bullying, like in school days or even as an adult.
Definitely in school. Luckily, I haven't been bullied as an adult much, which is just by my friends, the normal kind. But yeah, in high school, it was bad for a point, and I don't know if you remember this. Do you remember the website Formspring?
Oh no, it is bringing up memories and drama.
Yes, man, so much drama. I mean, I think as a girl, you regularly deal with bullying. I was bullied in middle school by people in high school, but there was like a short season when Formspring was really popular, which I guess for people that don't know, it's an anonymous site where you have a profile and people can anonymously post questions or comments on your profile, which I don't know who thought that was a good idea,
Well, now
but
it's like
it
integral
was.
to the internet, so just
Yeah.
being anonymous and trolling and shitting on
Yeah.
other people.
It was the beginning of that. And yeah, I had a friend who I was, trying to warn her of this guy who was kind of no good, and she just, I guess, didn't like the advice that I was giving her. And, she turned on me, and brought some friends along with her and just started posting regular, quite awful things on my form spring. Although it was anonymous, I obviously knew it was her.
Yeah.
And, so that was like really tough for a while because everyone could see it and people would comment on it, and that was really tough, but
Because, I mean,
I
that's your identity, essentially, in high school, and you think that
yeah,
it's being
definitely, because it was
squandered.
so popular for I don't know how long it was, maybe 3 or 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
But like literally that's like everybody was on that. And so yeah, everybody could see it and it just was like horrible things I just could never imagine saying to anyone. But ultimately, like, I was quite proud of the way that I handled it.
Mm.
For the most part, tried my best to not let it upset me too much because I realized, like, I was not in the wrong. Like, I was trying to do something kind and it backfired on me somehow. But
Yeah.
the way that I dealt with it is I went on her form spring and anonymously posted kind comments.
Aw, Devin.
I don't think it was for her as much as it was for me. I kind of look at it as similar to like forgiveness. Yeah, forgiving another person is a good thing, but it also kind of like makes you feel free in that way. Like it sets you free, sort of. And I think just knowing that like I could respond to negativity with kindness made me feel good about myself. And it kind of negated the negative things she was saying about me.
Yeah.
And then it just eventually stopped, and that was it, really. I think it taught me a valuable lesson because I try to respond similarly when other issues come up in life. So I feel like it taught me a good lesson.
You were consistent to who you were. I'm really glad that you brought that up. Thank you. That's something very important to keep in mind. I think I remember a couple of instigators.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's definitely boundaries that need to be in place as far as how much kindness you expend upon a person. It is deserved. Everyone deserves kindness, no matter who they are and what they do.
It doesn't mean you have to be best friends with somebody, if they're not good for you. But at the end of the day, they're a person who has value and they deserve respect and kindness. Doesn't mean you have to spend time with that person, but just setting the boundaries where you need. But yeah, wishing them well. You never know what people are going through when they do stuff like that. So maybe she was really struggling, and I get it.
Yeah, the whole saying that hurt people hurt people. I respect that a lot. Devin, you're a good friend.
Oh, thanks. You are too.
Thank you. All right, well, that was the quote-unquote heavy storytelling. Next, which I'm real excited to learn about, is the weird storytelling.
Uh-oh.
And on my questionnaire, you had mentioned unidentified phenomena. Phenomenon? Phenomena.
Yeah,
And,
ghosties.
yeah, does that tie into an odd, whimsical occurrence you've experienced? And
It does.
can you tell me?
Does.
Tell me about it. I want to
I've
know.
had a couple ghost instances actually. The first one was after my grandmother had passed. We used to visit her in Florida all the time. And it was after she had passed and we were at her house, starting to kind of go through things and throw things away and stuff. And I was sleeping in the guest room, which normally she would be sleeping in there when we came to visit, and I'd be sleeping on the couch. But obviously, I was sort of unsettled because I was sleeping in there and I just wasn't used to it. And it was obviously sad. And so I just remember, I was asleep and I woke up in the middle of the night and I sat up, and my grandmother was standing at the end of the bed on a stool fixing the curtains. And she just looked back at me and smiled. And then I just remember like being comforted by it, and I just laid back down and turned over and went back to sleep. And it was literally that. And I'm just like, for sure, I was not asleep, and it was crazy, but I know that I saw her. And I feel like it was like a last like comfort thing where she was like, it's fine, you know?
Wow, that's profound.
It was pretty cool. My Nana was really awesome, and she was a cool lady.
What was her name?
Her name was Mary.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so a little more about that. Do you remember what time of night it was? Did you look for the time, or did you just kind of wake up and
No, I
happy?
didn't look for the time, and it was like so short. Like I literally just sat up, and there she was, and then I was just like, "Oh, okay." And like in the moment, I thought like literally nothing of it. Like I was like, "Yeah, this makes sense," and then I just laid back down. But then in the morning, I was like, "Holy crap!"
Yeah, I want to know when it set in. When did you register that that was not typical?
I feel like I remember like waking up and like not really processing it. And then I was talking to my dad in the kitchen, and I feel like I was just randomly like, oh my God, I saw Nana. And he was like, what? I just like in the moment I was like processing out loud, and it was just very strange. But he believed me, I think. We could all sort of feel it in the house, I guess. At least I did. I don't know.
Like her presence, her warmth.
Yeah, it just felt like comfortable still. Like she was there, but obviously she wasn't. I don't know. It's very interesting, but it's cool.
That is cool.
My other story,
Oh,
which is a little weirder. Is it weirder? I don't know if it can be weirder than that. You know the graveyard that was by my house? It was probably like half a mile, maybe a mile from my house. And I would always go there. I don't know why, but I just felt very drawn to cemeteries. I still do. I think they're really interesting. There's a sort of sense of calm that I sort of get for some reason. But I would walk around there a lot and just look at different gravestones. And there was one that I was always drawn to. The person's name was, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but Akara Vogelsang. I don't know why I felt drawn to this one, but I would just regularly like sit there and kind of chat to myself / to this person that I don't know who they were, just randomly. And I did that probably a few times. But then I just remember like for a couple weeks in my house, I'd just be at home and I would randomly smell like flowers, which we didn't really have flowers in the house. My dad's real sensitive to scents, and so we didn't have candles or anything like that. So it was just really weird. I was like, where is the smell coming from? And so at one point I was like, I'm talking to this this gravestone a lot. Let me look up this person. And it turns out he was a mason, but he owned a flower shop. And so I don't know if he just liked me, and I don't know if he stayed for that long, but I feel like he was like, here's some flowers,
He was
I think it's very
offering you a
interesting.
kindness, as you showed them kindness too.
Maybe I was just chatting. I just was a weird kid, like reading Wuthering Heights all angstily in the graveyard.
That is so awesome.
It was so angsty. I was like, oh, I'm so mysterious in the graveyard reading Wuthering Heights.
And a ghost validated you.
Yeah, but I made a ghosty friend.
Man, that is so cool. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
I've heard it called before like a psychic echo. It's some energy or something just left over from that individual that kind of echoes into the present. And some people feel it. Some people sense it. Yeah, it's not scary or eerie. It's just there. And it is what it is.
Yeah, I've never had an experience where I felt scared. It's just been like, oh, okay. And then it's like you later make the connection.
I really appreciate that story. This kind of stuff, I can say, I geek out about.
Oh, me too.
Yeah. I think it's wonderful when you find out someone else has a very similar, if not almost exactly same story, and you're like, oh, I was right.
I know, it's like validation. It feels good.
It feels good. You also mentioned lucid dreaming. Is this something you do regularly? Is it something that
Yeah. So I think there was a time where we both were trying to train ourselves to do this.
I
Am I
think so.
wrong?
I think. Yeah, I remember. I remember specifically sleepover. We were like, okay, we need to look at our hand. We need to memorize our hands. And then when we're sleeping, we're gonna look at our hands again and we'll know that we're dreaming.
And there was
And
like
then
a
we could
guided
fly.
lucid dreaming video that we watched or something.
Yeah.
I never successfully learned. However, I have been able to do it a couple times in dreams, like
At random.
at random. And when I can, it's like so cool. Yeah, I don't know. Should I get back into practicing that to make it like a regular skill that I have?
Maybe it's special that it's just like every so often.
And I think it's only happened like 2 or 3 times, but it's like so cool because you like fully realize you're dreaming and you can control what you're doing in your dreams.
Can I ask you, what kind of field of vision do you have? Like, are you in
I,
first person? Do you zoom out?
I think it's been in first person every time. Like it's just been like how you see out of your eyes currently. I specifically remember one where I was flying and I could control where I was like flying, which was really cool. But I feel like I just remember I could see everything. Like there was no blocked vision in any way.
You decide where the dream story goes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it kind of goes along with like maladaptive daydreaming, which I for sure do that.
Maladaptive daydreaming?
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. But basically, you like really can envision, you almost create daydreams in your head on purpose. Like it's like story time before bed, you know what I mean? And I think sometimes I've gone from that into dreaming about it.
Ooh. I am going to reveal something to you that I don't think I told you when we were younger. I wanted to be able to have my dreams be my like safe zone when I was a kid and just like have some rest and recovery time and have fun in my dreams. And so I kind of set up a scenario before bed. I think the only person I've intentionally told this is Ronan. But I'd have this like giant dream tower that I would initiate my sleeping dream to. I'd have this like white like suit on that was kind of like Evangelion style. And I'd have like these things in my hair. And I would go to the top of this tower. And maybe I'm thinking of like Code Lyoko or something. I was into that back then. There would be these like characters that I would greet and they would like help me initiate the process of going to bed and starting a dream sequence. Because like I try to be intentional about it and say like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to start the story times and become unconscious, but then remember what the heck I was dreaming about. I don't think it worked. Maybe 10% of the time it worked, but
Yeah, but it's still fun.
it's fun. Yeah. And I think honestly, some authors do something similar as far as like world building goes, but I digress. Go to the top of this tower, fancy cool suit, greet my operations team, and then I would just jump inside of this tower and I would fall down the middle, and then that was me saying like, okay, I'm going to sleep now, bye.
That's awesome.
I did that consistently for like maybe a year.
Really? That's crazy.
There's this technique. I don't know if you want to look into it, but it's just called like hypnagogia, and you can do it right before you wake up or right before you go to bed. But it's that hazy moment in between falling asleep or waking up. That's the conscious moment before being unconscious where you can recognize, okay, I'm slightly awake. I'm going to go back into my dream and I'm going to stay awake.
Interesting.
You've probably experienced hypnagogic jerks, I guess, or twitches. It's
Oh,
when
yeah, I get those so bad.
yeah, you're about to fall asleep and then your body's just like, huh! And it's like, oh no, we're okay, we're just relaxing. We're gonna go to sleep now.
That's the worst. I'm actually surprised, like you jumping into that tower, that didn't happen to you more. Like panic, startled, waking up.
No, it's because I was cool and I was badass and I was like, all right, we're gonna enter the dream realm, and somehow I knew I'd probably float down or something. I wouldn't just drop to my demise. Like, I would jump into this tower and it'd be black, but then it would fade into, like, a beautiful,
Yeah.
colorful world of my own creation.
I feel like that'd be a great start to, like, an anime. Like, every episode it starts that way.
What kind of person do you think I was back then? who did not watch anime? No, I totally watched so much anime. I got all my ideas from anime, I'm sure.
Okay, write that idea down, make an anime.
Done. Well, something that I want to ask is, what have you been putting off? What have you been avoiding?
That's a great question. Well, the only thing that came to mind immediately was I need to order more vitamins. I'm almost out, so I've been putting that off. That's like the most immediate trivial thing. Otherwise, like, I feel like I'm putting off some chores. I feel like I'm putting off some like house projects that we need to do that I just don't want to do because I know it's going to turn into a big thing. Yeah.
What's the next project?
The next thing I think is our master bathroom. We've already done the shower, but the rest of it needs done. That'll be maybe a December or January project.
You should get that heated tiles or whatever. The heated tiles that I remember was in
You
your
think
childhood
I'm made of
home.
money? We have done all of these projects like as cheap as humanly possible without it being ugly.
You need to enlist the help of your community.
Well, that's my Christmas gift for my parents. They're coming up for a week, I think, and they're going to help me with it, which, it's mostly against my dad's will, but
That's amazing though. That sounds so nice.
yeah, so I will be putting them to work for Christmas.
And feeding them some delicious baklava, I hope.
Probably.
This is the segment that, like I discussed with Ronan, maybe this doesn't need to apply to the guest. It can be an option. They can select. So you selected 2 more numbers from a list of options that I can provide or I can suggest if you need to take a mental break, if you need to decompress or something. And the 2 options that you selected are to take a walk or ask a loved one how their day is going.
Oh.
Yeah. And so I feel like the second one is definitely like reaching out and solidifying your connection with someone, it usually feels really good. And then taking a walk is kind of meditative, I need to be taking more walks regularly. There's so many health benefits, mind benefits, spiritual benefits. Those are my recommendations if you feel like you have some time today to, care for yourself, care for others.
I will do that. Good advice.
Well, yeah, suggestions. On the subject of suggestions, Devin, how would you recommend to someone that is going through it to be a little bit more kind to themselves?
I think just recognizing the way that you speak to yourself, it's something that I'm working on. You go throughout your day and you're like, oh man, I really did that presentation at work bad, or like, this dinner didn't turn out as good as I hoped it would. It's like you beat yourself up and like those little things tend to build up and then you start to see yourself in a more negative light. I mean, those are just little things, but how we speak to ourselves is so important. I think just remembering that like this is all for all of us the first time we've done life and it's hard and we're all learning and growing. So I think it's just giving yourself that grace to like, hey, I'm not a perfect person, but it's cool that I did this thing or I tried this thing or, I'll do it better next time or I know I'm capable, just like speaking to yourself in a more gentle way, I guess.
So like recognizing that you try to do the hard thing, maybe it didn't line up with your own expectations, but honoring that you tried. And so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'll beat myself up because, I've been trying to exercise more, but I don't look the way I want yet. But it's like, that's dumb because the cool thing is like, yeah, I'm getting stronger. I'm doing something for myself. I'm being healthy. So it's just like kind of flipping the negativity and looking at it from a more positive perspective.
I want to cycle back to that in just a moment, but kind of in the similar arena, what's a way that you personally reset and are able to decompress from maybe a particularly trying situation, or, you are having a tough time with something or someone, just general stress.
I mean, my joke answer, because I always have to have one, is Power Wash Simulator. You ever play that game? It's very relaxing.
You did tell me about this before.
It's so good. So that is a way of decompressing. But no, I think I try to I think talking through things with somebody that is a good listener is a big deal. So I do try to talk to Jameson, if I'm struggling with something or I'm stressed or whatever. I just feel like somebody else just kind of shoulder your burden in that way is kind of takes it off of your own shoulders to some extent when you talk about it. So I would say that. Then also just like I try to make things just like nice for myself at home, like vibey and comfortable. Like it's a good way to decompress. I feel like it's something to look forward to if I'm like, oh, I'll just sit, at home. I'm gonna watch the show and have a cup of tea and, kind of have that planned out in my mind. I feel like that's something to look forward to. It's something that helps me decompress, just like creating kind of a cozy environment for myself.
A safe space.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you have any recommendations for listeners? You already gave us a song recommendation.
I gave a couple song recommendations.
Yeah, you did.
I gave Pace 143, and then I gave Thank You by Half Alive. In general, Stray Kids, big fan, highly recommend. They're super popular, so I'm sure, I'm not giving away some like secret group. They're massive, but love them. Yeah, TV shows. I mentioned Apothecary Diaries. I mentioned Frieren, and I'm rewatching Seven Deadly Sins, all animes.
Nice.
In terms of K-dramas, my favorite one that's on Netflix is called My Demon. I would highly recommend. Yeah, and also my recommendation would be learn something new. Take a class as an adult for something you want to do.
Lovely. Are there any influential characters or people in your life?
Oh boy. I think the main influences are really just people that I know personally. I think there's momentary seasons where like a certain celebrity or group or musician or actor or something does have an effect on me, but I find it's not really lasting, but it's just been like the people in my life that really make a difference. I feel like you have had an impact on my life. I feel like I view things much more in a whimsical viewpoint or like a kind of like a childlike in a good way, like viewpoint because of you. And so I feel like you kind of gain that I feel like from Jameson, like he's influenced me to be more kind and generous. And, my parents have influenced me to be like hardworking. And it's really those people in my life that are close to me that I feel like impact me the most and are influential in my life.
That's wonderful. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
And thank you to the lovely people in your life.
Yeah, they're great.
Would you happen to have any kind of specific story about any experience that you've had either witnessing or performing an act of kindness?
Yes, I'll have to think through it. So I kind of have this viewpoint when it comes to acts of kindness that I generally try not to talk about them just because I feel like it negates the act of kindness that you did. In a way. Like on one hand, yeah, it encourages maybe the person listening to you to do something similar, but also just like I don't know. It feels like that it's for my own pride, I guess. My other best friend Shelby. She was moving into a new house and I know she needed like a lot of new things for that. And so I just started, a collection at church for like grocery gift cards and Target gift cards and stuff like that. Like whatever I felt like would just be like a way to bless her in that way. I ended up collecting a good amount and put a little basket together for her. It's just like, simple things like that like a community can come together and support someone. I don't know. That's just a small example, but reaching out to somebody is just like such a simple thing. Just being intentional, I feel like is something that I do. So I don't know. If someone tells me that they've got something going on, I'll try to put a note in my calendar to reach out to them about it, and just see how they're doing. If it's just like a random person's anniversary or like oh, you have a test on this day, like I'll reach out that day and like tell you good luck. I mean, there's such like little ways to do nice things, and you just have to be intentional about it.
That's very considerate, Devin.
Thanks.
I know this is an interesting subject to cover because the people who do the kindness, more often than not, it's not for any kind of recognition. It's because they want to do the kindness. They want to show another person in this world, hey, it's okay. Don't worry, beautiful things can happen. So I'm still trying to learn how I can approach this subject, with the openness and the grace that you mentioned, to just be able to share the story on whether or not it was you doing the kindness or you receiving the kindness. Either way,
Yeah.
it's
Well, I mean, I feel
beautiful.
like I've like received so many acts of kindness too. Like that's the great thing about like having a community is just, we had when I first moved into this house, we had a mouse in our house and Jameson was at work and I was like panicking and one of our pastors came over and helped me catch it. I appreciated it so much.
Very
So,
impactful. I think it's amazing that you were able to actually reach out to your social circle to assist someone else with getting them started with, their new home. I think that's big. I think that's powerful that
yeah,
that you were
I'm
able to do
very
that.
thankful for my community just because I know like there's a ton of people I can reach out to who would help me without question, and I like to think that we're the same way. So it's rare to find people like that, I think.
I don't know. Kindness is a weird topic sometimes, isn't it?
See, it's so simple as a concept, but like people make it so complicated.
There we go. It's overthought.
Yeah, it's like really something so small that takes no thought on your part can be like such a big impact on somebody's day.
That's the beauty of it. So I wanted to be able to include that. Thank you. You covered it so well. My next question is, do you have, I mean, you've already expended so many, but was there like a specific quote or bit of wisdom and advice that you utilize in your life that you would like to share with others?
Ooh. I mean, I feel like there's so many. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like the one that comes to mind that my dad always said to me, which I think was like I don't know if it was meant to be advice or like a kind of get over yourself thing, but like he'd be like, people are only thinking about themselves. They're not thinking about you. That's kind of freeing in a way. And I think about that sometimes where I'm like, oh my gosh, I messed up during worship and like everyone's probably noticed and like it's so embarrassing. Nobody notices. Everyone's thinking about what they're gonna do after church. Everyone's thinking about what they are gonna eat for dinner. They're not thinking about you. And so it kind of gives you that freedom when you're worried about like if you're being self-conscious or whatever. It's like people are thinking about themselves more than they're thinking about you. And
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of nice. I think about that one. That's kind of random, but
Now that's a really good one. I had a feeling that you were going to bring that up. And
really?
yeah, because the whole get over yourself thing, I'm like, you know what? That
Did my
had
dad ever say that to you?
no. But maybe in some form or fashion, like that quote entered my life when I really needed it too. I don't know if you remember, but I used to drink, well, I still do, yogi tea.
Yep.
Maybe you were a part of this too, but we had like a choir competitions and stuff, and there was like those individual singing things. So what were they called? It was like we'd go and we'd kind of like sing in front of a couple of judges and then just be
Yeah. What
graded.
was that?
There was there was a name for it, but I'm pretty sure you did that too. Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
did. Wow, you just pulled that from the depths of my memory.
Um, and with the yogi tea that I would drink, there would always be like an inspirational quote or something that I would find inspirational and would typically apply to my life or my circumstances in that moment. Man, there were a lot of good ones too, but with the quote you mentioned, I just remember it's like typical to say, worry not what others think of you. They seldom do. But with your dad shorthanding it, get over yourself. Just
Yeah,
it's
like why do you think you're so important? Nobody's thinking about you, but in a nice way.
I was so introspective and completely highly conscientious and anxious and worried about what others thought of me and how I should present myself to others. And like with that competition, I think in that moment, I just realized like, let go, you're singing, you like to sing, you're going to do it in front of other people and they're going to come up with whatever they think about for you. And it just is
Yeah,
what
and
it
then in 5
is.
minutes they'll forget.
Yeah. It's not all about you. You're going to do
Yeah.
what you do and then you're going to move on. And that's going to be okay.
My only other quote, which I just randomly thought of, is that, and I've said this to many people, is that nobody will let you fail. As in, you've got support around you. At the end of the day, this came up all the time because Jameson's little sister in college, she's like, I have no money for this. I'm like, no one's going to let you fail. People will support you somehow. We will find a way somehow. You've got people in your corner, whatever you're going through, like, we'll make it work.
That does mean reaching out. Maybe not even asking for help, but just letting your loved ones know what position you are in.
Yeah.
So that they can be in a position to help. But
yeah, it's a two-way street for sure. But if you've got the right people in your corner and you ask for help, you'll get the help you need.
Yeah, trust. Man, good conversation, Devin. I hope you know.
Thanks.
You decided to skip the show and tell portion, but I would like to promote how you have been working on yourself diligently and how long have you been exercising consistently, and like, look at you go, girl. You look fabulous, and I think you should honor that. Absolutely, yeah. The determination alone, you did it, and you're still consistently doing it. Treating your body and your mind, everything with kindness, and receiving really wonderful results. So, congratulations.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank you very much.
I think that's something
always
to be
a work
proud
in
of.
progress. I'm sure I can grow more, but we're on our way.
Certainly are. I'm curious, as far as like, you listed some social media links. Would you like me to post that? Like, how would you like people to reach out to you, or for what reason?
I guess if people have any questions or like need to talk to someone, like I'm always here to listen, even if I don't know you, I don't mind. So yeah, reach out on, I think I gave you my Instagram, and I think that's the only one I put. So yeah, that's
I think
totally
you put your
fine.
LinkedIn.
Did I put my LinkedIn?
I think you did.
So yeah, Instagram, I guess LinkedIn if you have a business need. Yeah, my church is called Living Hope Church Columbus. We live stream every Saturday or every Sunday, and yeah, also highly recommend. Like I said, take the worship with a grain of salt. We sound better in person, but the sermons are really good, and you'll learn a lot.
And I had sent you a little care package that part of that was delayed, like literally 3 years. Then I was like, you know what? I'm going to interview her. I'm going to get myself to the post office and also add these other goodies that are basically ideas for just thanking my show guests. And there's something very specific in the little swag bag that I prepared. It's a validation token.
Oh, I feel validated. The box was worth the 3 years wait. It was just fun to get random mail. I love that.
Yeah, and it was fun to send it. I was very Leslie Knope about this, but we used to do gift exchanges in several different parts. Part 1 through part 7.
Yeah.
And that's where I was like, oh my God, what happened? What
did we become?
What have I become? I think you've stayed consistent. I've just been all over the place.
Yeah, but yours are more thoughtful. I'm cheap and I don't want to pay for shipping, so I'm like, here's this thing from Amazon. But you're like, let me put this really thoughtful care package together. And although your box did have some sort of hazmat warning on it, so I don't know what that means.
It's because I was truthful and I said, yes, there are lithium batteries in this package. So.
Oh.
That's what that was.
Well, I think most people just lie about that. They're like, yeah, nah.
But I'm glad it made it safe to you.
I think at one point I mailed you a can of Febreze. And And I remember shipping it to you, and the person was like, "Do you have any aerosols in there?" I said, "Nope." Do you remember that? I
Gosh,
think it's because you had a very specific, like you loved collecting Febrezes or
I
something at
did.
home, and I like was like, "This one she'll like."
If I'm correct in remembering receiving Febreze from you, it was probably like a Christmassy, like
I think
vanilla
it
sugar
was.
cookie scent. Yeah. Oh, and that one was probably one of my favorites. Like, I have a core memory of Christmas time and smelling that smell. So, thank you.
You're welcome. Wow, so generous of me.
Those little things. Big impact. For our show snippet, what do you remember from our conversation? What popped out at you?
Um, Going through our memories, our friendship, over the many years, which has been so nice, and just the general nerdiness that we have grown into. So,
Awesome. I love that. It's underplayed, but it's also so important. What does magic mean to you?
I think magic means to me making it yourself and making it for other people. And I think it just means how can we make things special? How can we show kindness to others in a way that positively impacts them in ways that they didn't expect so that it feels magical to them? I think just creating that lightheartedness and the joy for people and for yourself, like we kind of make our own magic in that way. And that's what I think it means.
Thank you very much. The very last portion is our end of show random question. I asked you to seed my question pot, so I'm pulling open end of show questions. You already added your random question to the pot. You have the option to answer or pass, and you can pass twice, maximum. So you chose what mythical creature would make for the best pet?
That's such a good question. Mythical creature. Is this any fictional creature?
Man, wherever your heart takes you.
Because the first thing that pops up in my head for some reason, and I don't think this is an accurate answer, but the first thing that came to mind is Stuart Little.
Oh my gosh! As a pet? Not as an equal human?
Well, I guess it's like kind of downplaying his value. I'm sorry, Stuart. Um,
You just want something small.
yeah, I just I feel like a little creature you can put in your pocket and like talk to would be really fun. Maybe like a I think maybe like a fairy, more as like a companion.
Companion. I like that. What
They'd
does
be
your
so
fairy
cute.
look like?
I'm thinking like Tinkerbell mixed with Thumbelina.
Hmm.
Like just real cute and little, like The Borrowers, that book and movie, like I can make a little house out of like little household items and be very cute.
I was gonna ask how you would procure outfits for your companion.
Probably from dolls. Isn't that what they did?
Yeah, I think that's a great answer.
Thank you.
This is like a personal thing. I've put this off for so long because one of the main reasons is thinking like I can't host a talk show that's supposed to be inspirational and full of wisdom and advice and light and love if I myself am not that. If I am not fixed from my chronic mental issues and duress, if I have any hint of doubt, it'll come through and people just won't listen. And I had it totally wrong. These conversations are where I felt that I truly do light up and I feel so engaged and present. And it's like a skill that I hope to garner. You are helping me with that. It is basically like my little talk therapy sessions because I like learning about other people. And you can take any positive thing that you've learned from someone and choose to apply it to yourself. Take what works for you, leave the rest. Keep moving forward. You've offered so many good things. I am so grateful. Thank you for being my friend.
Oh, thank you for being my friend. And this podcast is going to be great. I really am looking forward to listening to the future episodes that you put out with, I'm sure, guests much more interested in me.
No, you are probably one of the most special guests. You are the most special guest for me to be able to start this off with. I've had so many ideas of like, who should be the first? Who's going to do this? This person I had planned and then they fell through, and then it's just kind of perfectly lined up the way that it is. So I think it's just right that you would allow me to interview you, and you're going to be the first episode. So.
Well, thanks. I'm honored.
I am honored. I wish you well. I hope that you have a very cozy rest of your day. I am going to put aside the cooking Korean drama, and I'm going to start watching My Demon.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. And I just hope that you allow yourself some nice rest and some kindness. Have a treat or something today. Give your puppy some pets for me.
Oh,
The little baby.
the little baby. She's sleeping on my leg. She's ready for you to come visit.
More on that later. But I have a lot of editing to do now, which I'm really looking forward to.
Good luck.
Thank you.
I feel like I talked so much. Should I talk a lot?
Guess what? This was your interview. I think you talked an adequate amount.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Thank you, Devin. I love you.
You're welcome.
Thank you again for your time. Seriously, holy moly, we're doing this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk more later.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Really quick, I've created a continuous fundraiser idea called the Ladybug Effect, which is just crazy enough, it might work. It's a means to perform random acts of intentional kindness consistently. I've started a kindness queue. That will grow with ideas on how I can realistically assist others going through a rough patch, help them develop a passion project, or simply surprise and delight them. If you want to contribute, first of all, I would be immensely flattered. You can find my Ko-fi page on Linktree. Showing kindness doesn't have to be a big deal, but it can be a big deal for those receiving it. There you have it. Devin remains one of my only connections to the past, and we've managed to maintain a friendship for 20 years, despite living 2,000 miles apart. That's pretty incredible. It begs the question, is there someone you've been meaning to reach out to? And remember, I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky. I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. Gotta be green, gotta be mean, gotta be everything more? Why don't you like me? Why don't you like me? Walk out the door.